Blessings, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. I hope you're doing well wherever you may find yourselves. Today, I'm going to compare and contrast the two most popular Led Zeppelin remasters of all time. One is Led Zeppelin, The Complete Recordings, 1993, and then the 2014 remasters, which were not included as a box set, but you had to buy them separately. You know what Houses the Holy looks like, so don't think I can show that. And the 2014, some of them have, well, all of them have at least 2 discs. Some of them have 3, like Physical Graffiti and Coda. And then if you open up the box set, I never cared for this mini, with all the whole black thing going on, borderlines, very uninspiring for a box set. And then you get the picture book, and mine fell out years ago, and this is pretty good. There's some nice photos and reading and stuff. Probably the best part is photograph-wise is this. That's my personal favorite, and I can't restaple this because it just tried to tape it and all that, but it doesn't work. So, and I've been thinking about this for years, and I do occasionally listen to this, but normally I gravitate towards the 2014. So, and before I start actually talking about comparing and contrasting, let me talk about my history with Led Zeppelin to show you the direction I'm going with respect to all the different versions of the recordings that you have. So I started purchasing Led Zeppelin with my own money in high school. I wasn't late to Led Zeppelin in the sense of listening to them and liking them. I always knew who Led Zeppelin, I knew who Led Zeppelin was, I would say around the age of 8, 9, or 10. Maybe sooner than that, but I would say 8, 9, or 10. And that's because my mom always had music on in the house. From the time we got up to go to school to the time we departed for school, she had the radio on. Weekends, same thing. She was always calling into various radio stations to win all kinds of stuff. She always won, it seemed. She would win the top 100 or 200 45s of the year. She would win the top 50 LPs of the year, according to the various radio stations, be the ninth caller, that kind of thing. Always winning, and then she would split it with us kids, my sister and I. And my dad would get some too, but it was usually Mom. My dad was more into country at the time, but he would get some stuff. He had his own vinyl record collection as well. So my history of collecting Led Zeppelin began with vinyl. And then one Christmas, I got the box set that has the cornfield signs on the cover, and I never got the second one, but those are remastered. And then I never went into CDs until this. I remember working at Musicland or Sam Goody and wanting this and keep waiting, and there's the sticker that says limited edition, and then it lasted for so long, but I ended up getting it with my employee discount, I would say a year or so after this came out. Yeah, it lists everything there. See, it does not have the live album, though. That's was always kind of a sticking point with me. Why not include the live album? The song remains the same. But, so I never purchased, ever, the original recording of Led Zeppelin on CD, which is mostly one person, and that is Barry Diamond, being the remastering along with Jimmy Page and that sort of thing. But Barry Diamond pretty much held the reins of that process, and then with the exception of Led Zeppelin 4, which was Joe Sidor for Led Zeppelin 4. So I've never heard those. To this day, I've never heard those. So I can't compare the 3 different remasters. And as far as the definitive collection from 2008, which is the Japanese, not gatefold, but slim fit, and with the little wrapper on the side in Japanese. I hear those are quite good. That's out of print, of course. So a little history there. So again, I've not to this day heard the Barry Diamond versions. I went straight from vinyl to this, and this for the longest time was my go-to Led Zeppelin for CD. And then these come along. Well, I decided, and this has been a long procedure, or a long gambit, it's not the right word, a long pursuit of mine. I'd been comparing the 2 sets for, I would say, at least 5 or 6 weeks. And so I wanted to, share with you so that I could get I wanted to share. I like this is what the channel's about, I like to share. But I also wanted to see what your thoughts are regarding these 2 different remasters. So let me pull up my notes here. And as you know, if you've been watching this channel, one of the things that's a love-hate relationship when it comes to music are re-releases of the same album. I've talked about that probably to death now. Remastered, revisited, redux, remastered in all the different formats, right? I talked about that recently in some video last week, I believe. And it can get overbearing and here we go again kind of thing. And so I did this exercise, returning to these 2 versions, which of the 2 reigns supreme kind of thing. And towards the end of the video, I will tell you which is the case. So let's start with the box set. I would say that when it comes to this box set, compared to the 2014, so 1993, 2014, the 1993 box set has its merits. The guitar, the production and engineering of the guitar, Jimmy Page, is top-notch. It is the best feature of this box set. And cranking it in the car, putting these in the car, and through my speakers from the setup that I have, and on through the TV with the CD, the Blu-ray player, sounds really good. Now, the problem is, and there is a problem, the rest of the band, from an EQ standpoint, again, the guitars sound amazing. The John Paul Jones and Plant and the drums sound a little lackluster, not totally, but compared to Jimmy Page, not as sharp and not as clear and not as definitive as Page for some reason. Well, the reason is Jimmy Page remasters, and that is, but I don't think he deliberately set out to, I could be wrong, to make himself the highlight of the material here. Again, I could be wrong. So, but how do I want to put this? I'm looking at my notes here. You don't want to listen to this on headphones. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't want to listen to this on headphones. It's not as good as when you listen to it through speakers, whether it's your computer with an amp, or with your computer with good or decent speakers, or Blu-ray player, CD, or whatever stereo setup you have. I'm talking about CDs now, not turntables. So if you have speakers and they're good, decent, good, or amazing speakers, this is the way to go. No headphones. Because of Jimmy Page's guitar, and I have to include that. But you're going to hear that, again, the other 3 band members, not as dynamic or resonant as Page sounds. Now, if you talk about these, if you just stick to the original CDs, not the bonus CD, the live material, or the alternate versions of songs which you get on the CD too in many cases. Here, these are worthwhile not listening through your speakers, as the box set is, or on your CD player or your Blu-ray player, but rather through those with headphones. There's a more vibrant sound that comes through them. The overall quality of all four band members comes through. There's that clarity, there's that resonance, that's that punch, if you will. And I don't mean necessarily heaviness, just an overall resonance is what I mean by punch. And you have to have quality headphones, not a $30 pair. I would say, over the ear type, $100+ or more, maybe 150. My headphones are in the, I think, 150 or plus range. So you're blasting things out of your speakers, car, CD player, computer with a good amp and speakers, or stereo system, CD player setup. This is the way to go. But if you're going to listen through headphones, this is the way to go. Now, of the two, which is better? Well, I kind of tricked you in saying, I'm going to make a decision at the end. I prefer one. I don't prefer one over the other. However, having said that, if this is ironic or a contradiction, my go-to is to these. But there's two reasons why. Because it has bonus material, it has live material, and the Coda version, listening to all 3 discs is an event. I've talked about that before. And Coda is really strong. It's a 3 CD set. It's just richer. It's more powerful because of all the wealth of material. Of all the wealth of material you get, this is probably the best one, surprisingly. And because I'm going to gravitate to these because it gives me an excuse to pull the headphones out. And there are other reasons for that as well. So one more time, the box set, listening through speakers, the remastered from 2014 with headphones. They both have their merits because of that. Plus, the 2014 has bonus material you don't find in here. Now, again, as far as the 2018 remaster goes, again, Jimmy Page is like George Lucas with respect to Star Wars, hold tight to what you have before he changes it again, kind of thing. He did that with The Song Remains the Same, with editing and taking things out and putting things back and then retaking. It's just there's 3 different versions. I'm going to do a separate video on that, comparing at least 2 of the versions, the 2 that I have of the 3, and one of them is not worthwhile having, even though I've heard it. So that'll probably be my next video. So again, both of these collections have merits. The box set has merit. The individual discs of remastered that you have to get separately has their merits. I recommend if you bought this and then you, like me, you bought the individuals with the bonus discs, not to throw this out for that very reason, that this sounds really good out of your speakers compared to this. And you could say the same thing similar with the Sector box sets from Rush. I like the remasters that came, but that's a different video. The box set has its merits as well. So again, as much as I complain about, oh God, here we go again with re-releasing new material for the umpteenth time, here's a exception to not liking that. You want to keep both because they both have their merits, as I said. I'm going to say that again and again because I'm emphasizing the point. You don't want to throw them out. And if you're a headphone person like me, you got to have the 2014. If you're not a headphone person, then I would still recommend getting these because of the bonus live material, bonus alternate tracks, that kind of thing. So last thing I'll say, maybe I will explore the Barry Diamat and Joe Sador CDs version if I can find them because I've heard people talk recently about these are the best compared to these two. I don't know how true that is because I have to give them a listen. I haven't. And then the 2008 would be an expensive endeavor to track those down and get that box set. So anyway, tell me in the comments what do you think. Either if it's just these 2 box sets or rather the box set and the collection of 2014. So tell me what you think. Do you like the 1993 remasters better or the 2014 better? And if you have the Diemat / Joe Sador collection of Led Zeppelin CDs, are those the best, as some people has claimed, or is the 2018 version, Japanese release, called the Definitive Collection is what that's called, is that the best? So there are 4, essentially, if we're talking CD only, 4 different remasterings. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Bye.